In all of Van Buren County. Again, severe thunderstorm warning for portions of Allegan and Van Buren County until 8 o'clock this evening. Consider heading to a place of safe shelter. This storm has had a history of severe weather over in Wisconsin. You can see the threats over on the left-hand side. A tornado is possible. Even though this is a severe thunderstorm warning, a tornado is possible, and this is a considerable threat. Hail could be up to 1.5 inches in diameter and 70-mile-per-hour winds. You need to be taking precautions that we talked about earlier this evening. Close those garage doors, get to a place of safety. You can see as our velocity scope, we have got some very strong wind shear inside of this particular storm, up to about 62-mile-per-hour winds, right next to 36-mile-per-hour winds. And with that rotation, there could be a possible water spout over the lake, and that would be heading into portions of Allegan and Van Buren counties here within the next hour and a half. A lot of lightning with this storm as well. That's the other risk. So get inside, stay inside when thunder roars. You need to go indoors. Special marine warning for those folks that have been out pleasure cruising. You need to power down and get into safe port here in the next 15 minutes or so, because winds could be up to 50 knots with this coming in from the west and northwest. Right around 6:20 this evening, a severe thunderstorm watch was issued for portions of West Michigan, Ottawa, Allegan, and Barry counties down to the south for potential hail up to 2 inches in diameter and potential wind gusts to 80+ miles per hour. These are moving very quickly from the northwest at about 50 miles an hour, so they'll move at about a mile a minute. So you'll only get a very short warning. If you hear thunder, it's already probably too late to take place and get to a place of safe shelter. Severe thunderstorm watch means there is a potential for severe thunderstorms and tornadoes. It does not mean there won't be tornadoes, because severe thunderstorms can and do produce tornadoes. This is the time to be prepared, but right now you need to take action if you're in Allegan and Van Buren counties, because severe thunderstorms are happening or are expected. Stay weather aware at all times this evening. Hopefully you've charged your electronic devices. Make sure you get into your shelter space. You might want to grab your bike helmet and gloves. And again, close those garage doors. That's the main thing, and secure those outdoor objects if you haven't done so earlier this evening. And again, severe thunderstorm warnings with a considerable threat for a possible tornado across portions of Allegan and Van Buren counties off to the south, where there's a risk for severe weather later on this evening. This will be the main threat at the present time. And recapping, we still have that severe thunderstorm watch that will be in effect until midnight, unless it's canceled earlier, for the potential for severe weather. Keep an eye on the icon on the lower right-hand corner of the screen and a crawl across the bottom for the very latest information. In the meantime, I'm Chief Meteorologist George Lessons, along with meteorologist Michael Behrens in the 13 on Your Side Weather Center.
This has been a 13 on Your Side Severe Weather Special Report.
All right. Hey there, West Michigan. If you're continuing with us here on Facebook Live, meteorologist Michael Behrens in the 13 on Your Side Weather Center. You just got the latest information from Chief Meteorologist George Lessons. We're going to be watching for an increasing risk of severe weather in the next several hours as we watch severe thunderstorm work its way off Lake Michigan. So this is just the beginning of the threat that we have in place across West Michigan here tonight. It's only going to be increasing as we head through the next several hours. That severe thunderstorm warning is in place for Allegan and Van Buren counties at this time. That particular severe thunderstorm warning goes until 8 o'clock tonight. If you're in those counties right now, you may be asking yourself, what's this warning for? There's nothing going on. Well, that's the storm that's coming off of Lake Michigan, and as it works its way off the lake, it is expected to maintain those severe characteristics as it moves onshore. That includes lots of lightning, potential for 70+ mile per hour winds, and the possibility of hail that could be up to an 1.5 inches in diameter. So that's going to be something to watch closely here over the next several hours. Now, lightning has been one of the big threats with this particular storm this evening. We've seen lots of lightning with this cell. In fact, we'll put the counter on here. The last 10 minutes, that cell's produced at least 521 lightning strikes. So it has been, again, a very prolific lightning producer, very dangerous storm outside of the fact that it's bringing the hail and bringing those strong winds into West Michigan. Now, let me show you that hail potential out over the lake right now. We'll switch to our hail tracker mode here. Basically, any of those areas in those bright pinks has a very good potential to be producing hail, and that's going to be moving down toward south of Holland into Allegan County and into Van Buren County. When it comes to what we can expect to see in terms of hail size with this cell, at the moment, some of those higher impact areas in the cell could see, again, radar estimated 1+ to 1.5 inch diameter hail. The strongest hail signature right now is on the southern end of that particular storm cell. The other thing worth watching on that particular storm cell, and it's in the severe thunderstorm warning as well, is the fact that a tornado could be possible with this particular thunderstorm. We'll switch to just the Grand Rapids radar here, and you can see on the southern end of this storm just sort of these kind of interesting appendages down here. This would be the area we would watch for some kind of spin up to form in the next little bit, and if we switch over to our storm relative velocity here, it's kind of messy right now inside this storm. There's no clear indication that we're seeing any rotation right now, but you can certainly see some strong winds coming out ahead of this storm, and then down here on the southern end of the cell is where we're going to be keeping a close eye for the potential of rotation as that storm comes on shore. Now, we've been watching these storms all evening long as they came out of Milwaukee, where they produced hailstones that were as high as the size of 2 inches. In fact, let me go ahead and pull up one of our hailstone photos that we have from the National Weather Service in Milwaukee. You can see right there, those hailstones were quite large out there. That's the kind of stuff that really does damage to cars, can cause damage to roofs and siding. So it's going to be something to keep in mind. If your car's outside, if you have a garage, if you have covered parking, now would be the time to move those items inside to get them away from that storm that is coming on shore. Again, severe thunderstorm warning is going to be in place for Allegan and Van Buren counties. It's going to go until 8 o'clock tonight. You can see that on your screen there. We're also under a severe thunderstorm watch for areas Ottawa and south. It does not include Kent County at this time, but we're going to keep an eye on those storms as they push on shore this evening. Severe thunderstorm watch in place till midnight tonight for Ottawa County, Allegan County, Barrie, Van Buren, Kalamazoo, and Calhoun. Hail up to 2 inches in diameter and winds that could go in excess of 80 miles per hour when it comes to those winds is the concern for this round of storms. It's all part of what we've been telling you since the weekend when the severe weather threat first started to develop. We were expecting storms Monday evening, and they are certainly on track. The furthest southern counties, areas that are under the warning right now in Van Buren and Allegan County under a level 4 out of 5 risk for severe weather in Van Buren County and areas to the south. Wind, flooding, and hail are biggest concerns, but also we cannot rule out that risk for a tornado here this evening. Areas further north, that level 3 out of 5 risk, that goes up as far as Grand Rapids and into portions of Ottawa County, and the level 2 out of 5 risk further north of that. So again, the threat is certainly in place this evening, and one that we're going to have to watch here as we head through the next several hours. Now, as far as what we're looking at in terms of the hour-by-hour forecast tracking these storms, the models have not been the best handling it this evening, but you can see as we go into, say, 9 o'clock and beyond, that's where we get some heavier showers and storms filling in behind this initial round of cells and pushing through the region into the early portion of Tuesday morning before they push out as we head into the later hours of Tuesday morning, very early AM hours of Tuesday. The other threat with this, of course, being the heavy rain potential. You can see excessive rainfall risk covers most of West Michigan with a slight risk for those flooding rains. We could see rainfall easily of 1 inch to 2 inches, possibly in excess of 2 inches in some spots. It's really going to depend on where those heaviest cells set up and where they continue to sweep through the region multiple times. Let me go back to the radar here this evening to show you where that latest storm cell is. Again, working its way toward Allegan and Van Buren County, where we do have severe thunderstorm warnings in place. Those severe thunderstorm warnings highlighted in purple on your screen because the threat here is what you would call a considerable threat. And the reason for that being screen is the hail potential with this storm. Again, some of those hailstones out there that could be in excess of 1.5 inches in diameter, not to mention the wind speeds that could go over that 80-mile-per-hour mark. You can see that, or 70-mile-per-hour mark. You can see that warning again on your screen. It goes till 8 o'clock tonight, in addition to being the possibility for hail damaging winds and the possibility for a spin-up tornado, especially as it moves on shore. Lightning has been the other concern. Many hundreds of strikes in just the last 10 minutes as the storm approaches the lake shore. So it's going to be something we're watching carefully here as we head through the next few hours. Let me go and look at the comments that we're getting on Facebook right now. And see what you guys are talking about in the comment section. Got a comment coming in from Muskegon. This storm's going to be south of you guys, so you're not going to have to worry about this particular storm. No severe threat to you guys in Muskegon with this cell. Let's see. Same with Wyoming. No threat to Wyoming from this cell. Not going to be a problem for you guys. Calhoun County, down the line from this storm. This could be a problem for you guys as it moves on shore. It's going to be tracking this particular cell. I believe is tracking to the east, slightly southeast. Let me get the exact vector on that cell. It is, don't think it's on this particular. Do you have the severe thunderstorm warning, George? No, it's right under. Right there. Oh, there we go. East at 50 miles per hour. So again, we're tracking that. So let me put me back onto the radar here. That particular storm, again, moving east at 50 miles per hour. So we'll go ahead and put the storm track on it, follow it in at about 50 miles per hour. That's going to put it getting close to Kalamazoo County as we head toward, say, 7 o'clock here, 7:50. It'll be in South Haven by 7:11, in the Finnville area by 7:18, Grand Junction by 7:23, Allegan at 7:33, and into the Otsego area at 7:44. Track that out another hour from there, and that's where you start to get into portions of Allegan and Berry County. So say 2 hours from now, next hour and a half, that's when you guys are going to start to see that storm work its way toward you. And it's held together for quite a while this evening. So I would not be surprised if we see that storm continue to exhibit severe characteristics as it moves toward Calhoun County. Let's see. I got some new special marine warnings coming in now to the 13 on your side Weather Center as well for those storms out over the lake. Let me go ahead and we'll switch over to those alerts on your screen here as well, and we'll show you where those marine alerts are in place at this time. Of course, if you know anyone who's going to be near the lakeshore out on the water, it's definitely time to be heading in. I'm sure if you're over at the lakeshore and you're looking at some of these alerts or looking at the sky conditions, really, it's probably going to be pretty self-evident that you need to be heading inshore and onshore here very shortly, because again, this is a nasty storm cell working its way across Lake Michigan. There's a marine warning in place for that storm that is again heading toward Allegan and Van Buren County. The one directly associated with the storm goes till 7:30 here tonight with winds of 50 knots, and then there's another marine warning on the southern side of it also till 7:30 here this evening as that cell continues to work its way toward the immediate shoreline. So again, this storm packing winds that could easily reach 70 miles per hour. It could easily include 1.5-inch hailstones. It produced 2-inch size hailstones on the other side of the lake in Milwaukee, and those storms, those hailstones were confirmed by the National Weather Service. So that is certainly something that storm is capable of producing. You can also see there's additional storms back out in northern Illinois. There's a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible moving toward the north of Chicago right now. That storm's going to head out over the lake. It possibly could impact southern portions of Van Buren County, maybe southern portions of Kalamazoo County, but I think that one will likely drop south of our immediate viewing area. But again, we'll have to watch these storms tonight as we continue to see the threat for severe weather develop and continue with these particular cells. Now, I want to put another thing on your screen here as well. Just go to look inside the storm and seeing what we can see with our velocity. That's how we identify those areas of strong winds and those areas of potential rotation. You can see some of those bright reds on that leading edge of the storm cell there. Certainly some strong winds flowing out of this cell. And then kind of an interesting feature there on the southern end where we possibly could get some rotation together with this particular storm. that's the thing that we'll have to watch out for, especially as it moves onshore. I know if you've lived in West Michigan for a number of years, you notice that a lot of these quick tornadoes develop from storms as they move onshore. Let me go ahead and put George's weather computer onto your feed here as well. He's pointing out on screen where some of that rotation is in that particular cell. And it's going to be likely on the southern end if we see something come together out over the lake. But again, some more of that could develop as we head onshore and things start to get a little squirrely, as they usually do. Yeah, let's point out that northern area there where you get some rotation in that cell as well. So again, it's going to be something to carefully monitor here in the next, say, probably on shore in the next half hour as it continues to exhibit these severe threats. In fact, we'll put the storm tracker back on that leading edge of the storm, take it out at 50 miles per hour, and it's going to be in the Saugatuck area by 7:10, so roughly here about 15 minutes from now. South Haven by 7:15, that's about 20 minutes away, into Geneva Township at 7:22, Bangor at 7:30, the Gobles area at 7:38, and Otsego at 7:44. So this is going to be something we're watching continually over the next hour as it moves onshore and continues to show those severe characteristics. See, looking more into the Facebook comments here, Barbara again asking about Wyoming, Kentwood from Kelly. This storm going to be south of you guys. You may see some rain and thunder here in the next little bit, but currently no severe threat for you guys at the moment. But we'll be watching it later as we head into the evening. George putting some of those storm trackers on those areas of rotation with his weather computer over there, and you can see it's about, you're taking it out about what, an hour there, George? Okay. Okay, so those will come out over about the next hour or so, and you can see where the potential rotation would come onshore, likely between Glenn and South Haven, and then move onshore from there through portions of Allegan County, Van Buren County, and over into Kalamazoo and eventually Berry County as well. See, looking through more comments here. Again, this severe weather threat, this is going to be specifically in Allegan and Van Buren County right now. Kalamazoo, you guys could see that threat heading your way in the next little bit. As far as additional threats tonight, those are certainly still possible. So let me take the bigger picture here, show you where those storms are pushing through at the moment here. And again, mostly just rain once you get north of Holland. It's really going to be, let's draw a line here on the map. Right now, the severe weather concern is going to be south of that yellow line that you see on your map. This particular cell coming in off Lake Michigan is the biggest threat at the moment and what we are most concerned about and what is under a severe thunderstorm warning. That's not to say that we won't see additional storms develop here tonight. I think we will. But the immediate concern is going to be areas south of Kent County, areas really from about Holland south, where we have storms coming over the lake that have previously been severe, have continued to maintain severe characteristics, and will likely be bringing those onshore again in the next 10 to 20 minutes as we watch this cell. So at the moment, let's go ahead and recap things for you. We'll wrap up the Facebook Live and we'll be back on as needed throughout the evening. I think you will see us again here probably in the next half hour as we continue coverage this evening. So we're watching a severe thunderstorm warning that is in place in portions of Allegan and Van Buren County. That particular severe thunderstorm warning goes until 8 o'clock tonight. 70-mile-per-hour winds, 1.5-inch diameter hailstones, and the potential for a tornado to form quickly out of this storm as it moves onshore. That storm itself moving east at about 50 miles per hour, slightly to the southeast. We'll put the storm track on it for you again. And that particular storm in Saugatuck by 7:07, about 10 minutes out. Got about 10 minutes to be ready for that storm to come on shore. South Haven, I think a stronger portion of the storm heading your way. You have about 10-15 minutes to be ready for this storm to be in your neck of the woods. Van Buren by 7:16, Bangor by 7:28, Gobles at 7:35, and Otsego at 7:41. From there, it's going to push toward Berry, Kalamazoo, and eventually Calhoun counties. You guys have a longer time to get ready for this, so that's about an hour away from you guys. So continue to keep weather aware. Watch 13 on your side. 13 on your side mobile app, of course, will have the latest information as it comes out this evening for you. Those southern counties from portions of Ottawa County to the south, not including Kent County or Muskegon County, are under a severe thunderstorm watch. That will go until midnight tonight. Looks like the Chicago area was actually upgraded to a tornado watch inside that system as well. So we're going to be watching these storms very closely as they push through in the coming hours. Remember, severe weather risk is in place across all of West Michigan. You can see the very southern portion of our viewing area has that level 4 out of 5 risk, with areas to the north under pretty good risk for severe weather here compared to what we usually see in West Michigan, with a level 3 out of 5 risk that goes up to about Grand Rapids, and then areas north of there dropping to a level 2 out of 5 risk. It's not just the severe weather, though. It's also the flooding that we're watching for this evening, because there's plenty of rain on the way through West Michigan, and that excessive rainfall outlook, that's flooding potential, is a slight risk, or level 2 out of 4 with that particular system. And then once we head toward tomorrow, we get past this particular round of storms, we are heading into what will be a very hot, dangerously hot weather pattern, in fact, with heat index values in triple digits and heat advisories in place for the next several days. So it's going to be quite active here in West Michigan tonight. Make sure you stay with us, stay informed, and stay weather aware. We'll be tracking the storms. 13 on your side, 13onyourside.com, and of course 13 on your side news and weather apps will have all the latest information for you this evening. But for now, meteorologist Michael Behrens reporting 13 on your side.